Welcome to dignitaries and participants. I, C. Hemant Kumar Lalwani, Chairman, Jabalpur branch of CIRC of ICI, on behalf of Professional Skill Investment Committee, ICI, welcomes all the participants in the today webcast on state management skill for chartered accountants. I welcome to today resource person C. Naresh Lakhani ji and the event enabler from the Jabalpur branch of CIRC of ICI and other participants over here. Now I would like to call Sri Chanu Ahuja, Vice Chairperson, for the introduction of the speaker. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
A very good afternoon to all of you. It's a pleasure for me to introduce Sir Mr. Lakhani, a chartered accountant, certified public accountant, certified management accountant, runs his own CA consultancy firm. His extensive expertise spans both academic and professional realms, ensuring that you receive a well-rounded education grounded in the real-world application. With a passion of public speaking, Sir frequently shares his insights on accounting and his life skills. He serves as guest faculty member for ICI Management and Communication Skills, that is MCS, and orientation course, OC programs, as well as CMA India. His previous role includes serving as Chief Financial Officer over Convergys India and sitting on boards of several legal entities. Sir's international experience is vast, and having worked for 6 years in the USA, his dedication to contributing the supporting society is matched by his enthusiasm for yoga, which he practiced regularly to maintain balance and well-being. He has been speaker and moderator on at least 20 plus ICI Gurgaon branches and ICI NIRC organized seminars. Also, speaker at various universities including Jain University Bangalore, Galgotias University, Literacy India, the NGO. Now, I request Sir to proceed with the deliberation and enlighten us with this information.
Thank you,
Over to
Chandni
you,
ji.
sir.
Thank you, Chandni ji, for a nice introduction. And thank you, Chairman Saab, and thank you, all other dignitaries and the audience. Because audience is the one who gives their time. So I thank you them always because time is the most precious thing. So, guys, in today's world, we all know that stress has increased, and we talk about stress for one another reason. My thought is that can we change the world? I honestly doubt. I cannot change politicians. I cannot change even our institute. I can't even change my family members. Only to some extent I can guide them. I can nurture them. Maybe I can show them the right path. But changing everyone is literally impossible. And I know that a lot many outside things or things which are not in our control give us stress. So my request is that, rather than focusing more on everyone, please focus on yourself, change yourself, adapt yourself to the situation, and see what is best for you. So today's session is going to be around being stress-free for chartered accountants. But I think stress-free we all need to be. And somewhere the flip side of the stress is happiness. We all know that if we have less stress, possibly we are happy or at least we are calm. To me, happiness or stress-free also means being in a calm state. When 90% of the time during the day, you don't have turbulence or firefighting going on in your mind, that you have to do this or that, and you are thinking if that thing would be done or not, and how you can handle it. If you can attain that situation, I would say that you are a happy person or you are a stress free. I mean, I know that every time 100% it is practically not possible, but can you control it? Can you do it better? I would say definitely we can do it better. So the first thing usually I have in my mind is that there are few Stoic philosophies which I talk about. So one is a man who suffers before it is necessary. suffers more than it is necessary. I mean, you people think too much about future and they start suffering for unnecessary things which may not even happen. So they are already suffering. And if at all it happens, obviously their suffering would be double because they were suffering even before the event happened. Usually we think the worst things. I have seen if I don't have water today, water supply, maybe I would think that the water tank which I have of 5,000 liter, would go out, and I will have to go without shower and maybe to the toilet without, water. But why do I think? Most likely I have 5,000 liter water tank. I don't think positive things. The human psychology is such that we get attracted towards negative things very, very fast, and we think about the positive things very, very little or less. We don't care much about them. When I already know that 5,000 liters of tank I have, it can last at least for 4 or 5 days, even if something worse happens, it would be fine. And similarly, I talk to many students about the CA results or CA exam. I say, you just work hard. You are already suffering. A man who suffers before it is necessary suffers more than it is necessary. Even students sometimes write me, sir, ye hoga, wo hoga, this will happen. Or these days, people are reading unfortunate news of EY, Anna Sebastian, and student ask me, oh, what will happen to you? I said, now you are unnecessarily suffering. It happened to one person. Yes, things need to change. Government support, ICAI, but you also need to calm down. You also need to think that maybe that you are too much thinking about all these negative incidents. So one is that please don't suffer without actually suffering. And another saying we have from Confucius. Confucius was a Chinese philosopher about 500 BC. He says that we have two lives. The second begins when we realize that we have only one. So it means that, yes, we, physically, yes, we have only one physical life. But unless we change our thought process, unless we realize that this is only one life, we don't need to accomplish everything. We don't necessarily need to be best in everything. We don't need to necessarily, be the richest person around, or when we start thinking that we don't need to be the most successful person around, all these things, then we calm down, and then that is, or when we have achieved our goals. For example, when I was doing my CA, the goal, I did actually my CA in 1996. The goal was to get around 8,000 rupees per month job. Our goalpost increasing. Yes, I know inflation has changed, time has changed, but most of us in all these years have made so much of money. Recently, I was talking to a friend who had lost a job around 40 something. He was so nervous, so much worried. I said, how much money you have? He said, Naresh, I have 3 crore rupees. I said, why the hell are you worried? You have 3 crore rupees. If you put that even in FDs, you can live a decent life. You may not be able to travel New York or Australia with your friends, but I can promise you with 3 crore rupees, only FD, forget about share market where I can say, or mutual funds where you can get at least 12, 13, 14, 15% return. But even in FD, you can live life. Why are you, so much stress? Isn't you are an educated man, you are talented man. Just realize that, you have this much money. Only then the second life means the better life would start. Otherwise, you will continue to grind that, then 3 crore, then 20 crore, then 200 crore. But you will never realize that, yes, you have that money, that you can live decent life, and you can calm down. You can be, at least don't stress like a CA final student. You have gone far, far ahead in your life, you have done so well. At least be thankful to God for what you have today, rather than simply thinking, and maybe you will get a job in next few months, or do at something at your own. Not necessary that you need to do job. You can teach also. You can do some consultancy. Many things you can do. So few things, we have to accept that. Similarly, there is one more quote by Ghalib. He says in Hindi, it's in Urdu Hindi, कुछ इस तरह से मैंने जिंदगी को आसान कर लिया, किसी से माफी मांग ली, किसी को माफ कर दिया. So we can make our life easy many times. I'm not saying 100% every time it is possible, but yes, many times it happens that sometimes you say sorry, and sometimes you forgive someone. Many times, I mean, our kids do small things, mistakes, some idiotic things. Even our staff does sometimes mistakes. Don't think that they can be perfect or you are perfectionist. Just forgive or say sorry. Or if I make mistakes, sometimes I say sorry to people, even when I feel that emotionally that person will feel comfortable, when that person will feel at least good, that at least some warm feeling. Doesn't mean sorry that I have done some debacle or wrong thing, just to touch the person's feelings. Say sorry sometime. Oh, I'm sorry that your mother expired, or this happened, or that happened. These things are very common. We can make our life easy. I seriously believe that we are following a follower. There is a saying in English, following a follower. Following a follower means we are following someone whom maybe we saw on social media, Instagram, LinkedIn, or it could be any other form, let us say Instagram, Facebook. Maybe he has a lot of money. At least he's showing. Obviously he's showing only the good part of his life. He's not showing the bad part, terrible things. And that person is actually following another person on social media. Then maybe that person, when I say he actually means, I'm not gender biased, means it can be male or female, actually both. So that person is following another person. No one actually knows what is the objective of their life, what is the purpose of their life, what they want to do. Many students, I ask this question. I teach for MCS and OC. I ask them, what is the purpose of your life? Just think about it. What objective is of your life? Many students say me, sir, I want to become a CA. I said, CA may be a goal that you will accomplish maybe at the age of 21, maybe at the age of 25, or maybe 28. But most likely you will achieve it with your hard work. But what after that? So don't follow others. Have some purpose, write it down. My request to everyone is that, at least write 5, 7, 10 points. Please have your notebook so that you remember it and you can try to use it, which relates to you the most. So social media is also big culprit, but the problem is that we ourselves have given up our self, or our self thought provoking things, or our individuality, I would say, and we are just following others because they are looking good, they look richer, maybe they are going to for better vacation. If you don't want to go, if you don't have money, don't do it. You'll have less stress. And trust me, I have personally met many people in my life. I asked them, did they go there or do they go there? They simply tell them that, Naresh, I find myself happy when I'm sitting here and doing things, managing my own things, and I'm a very happy person. If you are one of those, please don't feel compelled that you need to go to United States of America and New York and what is that? Which tower is that? The Statue of Liberty, or to France to have picture on with Eiffel Tower. If you don't feel like, it's okay. Find your happiness. Find what makes you less stressed. In today's world, we have 100,000 things, all kind of information is there. Everyone is sending you information on WhatsApp, emails, or you see it on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. Please don't get into everything. One is my request is that don't waste too much of time on social media, because the more time you spend or waste on social media, you would rather be, kind of uncomfortable. Because you cannot be everyone. You cannot be the best version of everyone, or maybe what they are showing. You know what I mean? Sometimes people are just showing, sometimes even faking, sometimes even people don't even have the car, and they would say that this is the car they have bought. Maybe they have rented it. It is their friend's car, or maybe they don't say it. It implies sometime, that it is their car. I remember one of my friend was once having his daughter's picture on Mercedes S-Class. So I congratulated him. I said, congratulations, Yadavji. He started laughing. He said, no, Naresh, it is not mine. And believe me, there were like at least 50, 60 other people who had already congratulated it. So I was not the only one, but that guy was honest. He's a good friend of mine. He said, no, Naresh, there is nothing like that. But, sometimes let us say, I mean, even if he has it, maybe he has worked hard, or this is his choice. Maybe whatever car, I can afford, whatever limited resources I have, I can be happy. Trust me, to be happy or to be stress free, sometimes I need to manage things better rather than being everywhere and be the best of everything. So, again, many things, material things are very common things which give us stress, because we are working very hard for them, and then we have stress. A lot of people work like 12 hours a day. They want promotion because they want more expensive houses. They want um, most expensive car or foreign vacations. Guys, are you just giving yourself, let us say 300, let us say 340 days stress, because 25 days you will have off, or you will go out, or you will show it to someone? Please, for God's sake, don't get into this thing. So my request to everyone is that please gain some confidence in yourself. Be gentleman, be happy with your own, whatever you have. Spirituality is also very good thing. I mean, as per our own philosophy, Hindu philosophy, and also other religions also more or less are in the same direction. I know there may be some differences, and we see more differences on social media and everywhere because of the hate. But my thought is that more or less, at least on the good side, everything is the same. There are few things, which are not practically possible, which are difficult. You ignore that. But for example, meditating, gratitude, do something good for the society. For example, I inevitably, from years and years, I always have some food near my door, including dog food and other food, so that if I see anyone, I don't have to go inside the house. Usually it is like biscuits or dog food or something, because I live on the first floor, my parents live in ground floor. I just have some food there. And I always see some dogs or some poor people going. And even if I'm in a hurry, I usually go back, get one packet or some dog food. I give it to people who need it. And I really feel very happy. I know sometime I get a minute or two late because of this thing, and already day is packed, overwhelmed. But I always think that maybe, God has given me the power that I can do it. Imagine that. I mean, I'm very honest and upfront about this thing. I said, just imagine God had made me a dog. Whatever smart or hard work, intelligence I am talking today, I would have not been able to achieve even 0.1% of it. So be thankful to God that you have a lot of things. It can and be grateful to the God or Almighty, whatever you feel, or just in general, have gratitude that you are capable of helping people, and you don't have to ask for small things, like even basic things like food. Even I tell every CA student in the classroom, imagine that you are so lucky that you have come to the class. You are spending time here without being worrying about the next meal. Just go out and see, there are so many people who can't even sit and spend time, few years in the classroom because they have to earn for the meals. And most of the students get paid by their parents. I know there are students who have to work very hard, and there are some situations, but still they are better than many people who cannot even afford to be in the classroom and spend time on their education. Another thing I talk about is, please learn new things. Participate, learn new things, new skills, even doing small things, for example, which make you tired. For example, gardening, cleaning your house, or doing codes. I know online trend has overshadowed everything. Everything, within few minutes we can get at our doorsteps. But just go out. It will include some physical activity. Obviously, if you go, let us say market is around 500 meter or 1 kilometer away from your home, just go walking. Sometime even I have a cycle, I go use cycle, go there by cycle. Hardly only when something is so heavy that I cannot lift it from the market to home. Only that is the situation when I go on my car. And then also I don't park closest. I just park little bit far so that I don't have to get into the hassle of getting out of the market. And few minutes I am spending pulling out my car. Physical activity is another great form I talk about. To me, walking is the best exercise in the world. In fact, any physical activity is great, but walking is the best thing in the world. Just hold on for a second, I'm sorry. Sorry, there are some light issues. So walking is the best exercise in the world. It keeps you stress free. It regularizes your blood sugar, your blood pressure, your cholesterol level, everything. I mean, this is I'm saying again. I mean, I'm not discouraging any other thing, but if you have to do only one thing, I would say choose walking. Obviously, walking has to be faster than what you can usually, walk. Try at least 20 to 30% faster than what normal walking speed you have. Try to avoid watching social media, or I would say keep your phone in pocket. Even I don't even listen music. I usually see surroundings. I try to go on greens where there is more green patches. I have some farms not very far from my home, or some green areas or park, whatever you can find. Please do walking. Again, morning walk is supposed to be good one, but if you don't have time in the morning, maybe it can be in the afternoon as well, it can be in the evening as well. Preferably, I would suggest everyone, for the best health benefits, at least 10 to 15 minutes of walk after each meal. So if you are eating 3 meals, because it will give you the best health benefits. We talk about health issues, we talk about cholesterol, we talk about diabetes, we talk about heart diseases, and many other problems. Trust me, and many people blame it on a vaccine and all that. I honestly don't know if there is anything like the vaccine related issues. But I believe most of it is almost 99% it is because of our own issues, because we are not doing any physical activity. For example, I go to the Institute of Chartered Accountants for teaching, and our classroom is on the second floor. And more than 90% of the students use lift for 2 floors. Just imagine. I mean, how can you expect good health when you, at the age of, let us say, 18 to 22, 25, you don't even like to walk 2 floors? How do you expect your back would be good? How do you expect that your legs would be strong? How do you expect that your muscles would be strong, or you will have less stress? I said, please, you go to metro station 1 kilometer, 2 kilometer, don't bother your parents. Frankly speaking, our Gurgaon office, we have going to have a new great big branch in Manesar, but the one which we have right now is in a commercial area, and there is not a lot of space. It's a rented one, the one we are having right now. It's in that tight place, and I see parents dropping their kids, or sometime even faculty, like right where the entry is. And to reach that level, to take that your car to that place takes a lot of efforts. Maybe just outside the building gate, you can drop them, and 200 meters students or the staff can walk, especially those who are not bringing their own car. Obviously, those who have their car, they have to bring in. For example, my intention usually is to park my car at the first parking spot. It doesn't matter how far it is. If I know that I found a parking spot, immediately I park. It may be howsoever far it may be, and howsoever far maybe it could be like few hundred meters at the most. In the US, parking lots are very big. I was in the US for 6 years. My friends used to dislike me. They used to say that Naresh, you are saving on you're saving on petrol costs. I said, no, I just like to walk. I would park whichever first, and usually that used to be almost half a kilometer. It's okay. I enjoy it. Even when I used to get the stuff, if it was heavy, they have trolleys. You can take the carts to your car. I mean, why it has become so hard for us to do small physical activities? People of my age, I'm 53, almost half of them are pre-diabetic, diabetic, blood pressure, cholesterol. They need lift. I honestly don't take lift up to almost 5-6 floors easily. Beyond that, that's another story, and it also depends sometime on my mood, if I'm in a rush or not. But 5-6, I don't even see saving myself time. And I don't get breathless only because I'm so used to it. So please include physical activities. Find yourself for time for yourself. You are a priority for yourself. Please make yourself priority. I know that sometimes we talk about no. We need to serve our parents, for our kids, blah blah blah. 100,000 things I have. But can you do all that job even for society? If you are unhealthy, if you are in acute stress. And when I talk about stress doesn't mean that, okay, you have exams for next few days, you have little bit stress of performance. Stress, I mean that without much reason, you are unhappy for days. And actually, if it is clinically, scientifically, as per medical terminologies, if you have too much of stress for more than 2 weeks consecutively, maybe you are depressed. Maybe you need some doctor's intervention, at least go. But I always tell everyone, my students also, if you are in that condition, please, for God's sake, start physical activity. Before you think about going to doctor, please start at least 30 minutes to 1 hour's walk, go to gym, yoga, whatever you do. Maybe after 1 month, maybe not only, maybe most likely, I would say, you would not even need anything. Of course, you need to talk to your confidants, people who understand you, but physical activities must. I'm not a doctor, but I know that I have seen in my close relatives, usually medicines don't make great difference. Even I heard once BBC some story. You know, they have science and medical related stories that not more than 50% actually people get benefit out of it. Whereas I'm telling you, more than 60-70% people can benefit if they increase their physical activity, start spending time on themselves, and stop unnecessarily worrying about things over which they have no controls. In this Stoic philosophy, there is core principle control and non-control. If you can control something, yes, try to work on it, improve it. But if you cannot control something, just accept it. Even if you don't like it, but you cannot control it, accept it. So again, we have, so many muscles on our face, and our muscles tell us if a person is happy or not. So gratitude is another thing. I mean, we all have our share of happiness and sometimes, the bad or rough patches also. But I have made it point that when I sleep in the night, I always say thank to God and say that, I'm happy and I accept everything. Everything so far has happened in my life, good, bad, or ugly, or whatever, but I accept everything. I think this is the best I could imagine, or far greater or better than what I could imagine. Whatever few things which have not gone well, it may be. Even I had my share of health issues when I was young, growing, and that is how I started becoming, very physically active, and I started seeing improvements in all the fronts. In fact, I went to almost all the hospitals in NCR related to my health related issues, but no one had any solution. Even whichever country I went to, Dubai, EY working, I went there also, no doctor could help me. Even in the US, I changed few cities. Wherever I went, I showed it to some doctors, but no one could help. But a lot of it was that I increased physical activities and 99%, 95% things improved. And I always tell people that maybe, I'm a better person because I had problems when I was young and I faced it, health related issues, but I tackled it with physical activities. It could be yoga, it could be gym. I still believe yoga is great, but physical strength you need from some activities. If along with yoga, you can have some activities. There is something called strength training. Please, especially if you are hitting 30, 35 age or 50, 55, whatever age, you need strength training to have greater, at least better muscle level. And again, better health means better happiness or less stress, because many times we have stress because our health is bad. There is a saying, I'm just trying to recall that a happy man may have, a healthy man may have 1,000 desires, but unhealthy man only has one desire, which is to be healthy and to get rid of his sickness. So it is that important. If you are unhealthy, if you are sick, you have only one desire, that maybe you can be healthy. Even if I have fever for 2 days, the only desire that time I have is, oh, maybe I get better. So again, please do things which take it to that direction. It is not always that thinking, but some physical activity, as I mentioned, and also positive thinking along with that is very, very important. I mean, in the history also we have, there was Napoleon, French Revolution. He led several successful campaigns, wars, but he was unhappy. He wanted to win more. I mean, to me, somewhere the goal, the purpose, or at least the part of it should be that we should be happy. If something is constantly making you stressed, constantly making you feel unhappy, it means that you are not on the right path. Please remember this. Maybe you need to
So we
find
have
something.
a question with us.
Yes, please.
Is multitasking good for today's world, or shall we focus on one thing and complete it with full satisfied way? Please share your thoughts with it.
A very good question. Multitasking, I would talk from scientific side first. Scientifically, it is said that with multitasking, you don't achieve good results. So, but in today's world, sometimes we have to do it. But my suggestion is at least for few hours, focus on one thing. If it is studies, it could be, at least for few days. If you are, let us say, student, or if you are trying to enhance your skill, then just focus on one thing at a time. But I know, being practitioner, being in CA profession, sometime you have to do it. But scientifically, it reduces your productivity, and you cannot concentrate on two things. See, just imagine, we can think only about one thing at a time, right? And we can do only one thing at a time. But when we switch from one to another, our concentration, our efficiency decreases. So as much as possible, try to reduce multitasking, and focus on one thing, be it studies, or be it your client, or be it the job you are handling. At least try as much as possible. Sorry, I see few more questions. Let me check. Even what is application status is made of showing off. Let me read some questions also. Then maybe, I'm sorry, I'm interrupting you. Maybe you can ask. Even what is application status is made of showing off. I don't understand the question, but see, showing off, honestly, I mean, why you are showing off? I tell everyone, to whom you are trying to make happy. Many people spend so much of money, then they get stressed showing off. At one point of time, maybe with age, or maybe I have seen some people are like that. Make yourself better. And I'm very, very honest about it. For example, some people don't like saying, I said, the best dress you have is your body. If your body is good, if you work out, even if you buy less expensive clothes, you look good. I mean, you see all these big billionaires, especially like the US ones, Bill Gates, Warren Buffett. They don't show their cars, they don't show their houses. Even Steve Jobs, he never showed his cars. I'm sure Steve Jobs and even this Mark Zuckerberg, Facebook's founder, they don't do any show off. So, and it doesn't help, believe me. Few people do it, few people are in the business of showing off. I believe that my audience is not among those people. So don't worry too much about it. Yes, sometimes you need to dress nicely, good dress, but don't worry about brands and expensive things. It won't lead you to anywhere. I'm reading another question. Hello, sir. Do you think multitasking? Okay, that question is done. So, sorry. Do you have any other question, Chandni?
Not yet, sir.
Okay, guys, do you have any question? Maybe we can pause for a minute or so. I would be happy to answer, because yes, it does make sense that we ask some questions in between.
So my
I mean,
question is there. Like, in today's world, we expect a lot from others. So how to cut that expectations off? So
that's
that in order to reduce stress.
I can see. Can you please speak your question again? Expectation from other. See, expectation. My thought is that have less expectations from others and more from yourself. So, for example, if I do a job, I would expect more from myself, do better, but from others, you expect less because one, that person may not be a priority for you, or even that work may not be a priority for him, or maybe he's not that as smart as you are. So a lot of times, let me tell you, I work with a lot of people from the lower strata of the society. And I tell to my wife also, she works for IKEA. It's a good company. So sometimes she gets frustrated with the maids and other people around her. I said, if they were as good as you, they would probably be working in your company and making some decent money. Why do you think too much or have too much of expectation from other? And again, there may be the mental level priorities. The best I would say is expect more from yourself and have less bar or standards from other people who expect too much from others. They not only frustrate others, but they frustrate themselves also. And not many people want to work for them. You can guide them, you can coach them. Many times, honestly, I ignore. I know someone has done something wrong, and when I try to explain, and if he gets offended, or if I feel that he is not liking it, he is very, infuriated about it, then I just let it go. Because now I am going to lose my peace of mind. Or sometime, if it is so bad, you better walk out of that whatever relationship. It may be working relationship, it may be personal relationship, because after a while, if it is not manageable, or if it is not happening according to your comfort and things are not working, you better get out of it. Anything else, guys? Okay, so Napoleon, I was saying, after winning so many wars, so many revolutions, I mean, he was an unhappy person. He wanted more. He wanted more. So, whereas Helen Keller was American author, disability right advocate, political activist, lecturer. She was blind, and I think she could not even hear. But she was very positive. Someone asked her, maybe, you would have eyes or maybe hearing ability. She said, no, whatever I am today because of this, I am happy with it. So just see the difference of attitude. A blind person or hearing impaired person is far happier than a person who has won so many wars, so many campaigns, revolutionary wars, such successful person. And believe me, there are many people, but many billionaires are miserable because either they cannot manage their things or they want more. They are not sure. I always tell everyone, have a particular level of money. We all are from finance profession. Most of them, I'm imagining, are chartered accountants or students. We can do our math. Have some budget, some Excel, some future forecast of your expenses or net asset level you need to live a decent life. And once you attain that, please stop cribbing. And then what you are doing is for your happiness and having a meaningful life. Yes, I understand for first 10, 20 years, maybe people have to work hard, but even that time I say that please don't go crazy. Please don't think about the best money. A lot of students ask me about this recent situation. Yes, Anna Sebastian. I tell them that yes, we work, we are human beings. We work as society, as a group. Yes, government also has role, no doubt about it, to protect us. Maybe our parent or institute of chartered accountant, but we also have major role to play because for them, one individual is not a priority. One individual who you should be priority for yourself. If you cannot work in that stress environment and it is taking toll on you, let me be very honest. I worked with KPMG in the US in around 2000 year. I worked there for only for 4 months. I was constantly stressed. It was busy time. in the US, busy time is from January to around April. And I had relocated from Connecticut state to Denver. There was not much support system, so relocating, getting adjusted to new city, and in the middle of the busy season, working 12 hours a day plus. When I talk about 12 hours, in the US, it means 12 hours excluding lunch, including travel. So almost it was 15 hours. Unluckily, client was also not great. They had their data destroyed because of some computer issues, system issues. So there was a lot of stress, and it was not that easy for me. Even I had constant headache. But after 3, 4, 5 months, I realized that, I would not be a happy person if I continue to work in this environment. And very frankly, I called my boss, mid-sized company, back, and I told him I want to go back. I'm not saying everyone runs away, but everyone cannot handle a particular level of stress. I was working 6 days a week because of that busy time. We were supposed to clock at least 60 hours chargeable time to the client. With cooking myself, I was single. 1 hour, 1.5 hour, let us say 1.5 hour going, commuting, plus 1 hour lunch, and I hardly had any time. So I went back to my previous company and said, thank you very much. If you cannot handle a particular kind of stress for a long time, please think of changing your path. You don't need to compare yourself with other person. Maybe someone, I am sure, in my situation would have handled it, would have been okay with it, but I was not comfortable. So I just, after 4 months, I moved back to my company. I was top star in my previous company. People used to like me. They accepted me. Obviously, again, I had great life. Work. I mean, again, there also I had to work, but environment was a little bit different. And it was not similar to what I am describing right now. So again, if you are in such situation, before you think someone would help you, please, for God's sake, you find yourself solution for yourself also. Because if your house is on fire, you are the first one who has to find the solution, not everyone else around you. Pardon people, this is Madam was also talking about this, expected pardon. Many time I worked with so many people, from inside, maybe you don't need to say that I pardon you, but I just pardon, move on. Sometimes you accept wrong things happening to you for your happiness, not because you want to make someone feel great. Because you don't need to live with the not forgiving someone or with the grudges. Express love. Express love doesn't mean I love you for every woman you meet or every man you meet. Express love means say some nice things. When I go and meet people, I honestly, I say good things. You have good beard. Oh, your shirt is very good. Your tie is very good. And yes, I can say that my bar is not very high. I don't expect that it should be Gucci, Armani, only some certain brands. Even ordinary car, if someone buys, I congratulate them. I talk some good things about their car. I try to find some good things about their car. In the classroom, I always find some students who are well dressed, some nice haircut. Say they see this haircut, he's looking good. At least whatever you have in your control, you should do it. Don't be shabby. So I say some nice things to students whom I meet or people I meet, and you get positive vibes from them. And this is how you build relationship also. Find time. I always tell everyone that, believe me, if you are working overtime more than 2 to 3 months in a year, something is wrong with you. If not something wrong with you, something is wrong with the company or something is wrong with the system. It is not that easy to sustain for everyone like this. Few people can do it, no doubt, but there are few. And some people actually fake it. Trust me, some people really fake it. Especially all these big guys we see, rich people, influencers, or politicians we talk about, they work 20 hours, they work 20 hours a day, not in a week, please remember. They talk, they sleep less, please. They have people, media to support them, be it businessmen, be it politician. For ordinary people, for normal people, medically, scientifically, it is not possible. So don't think that you can do it, or maybe they are faking it. Don't trust a lot on what people are saying on social media. Traveling, I tell everyone that close to nature, as I mentioned, when you go for a walk, try to find some nice park. Like I have some open area spaces near my home. I try to go there. Believe me, you will get peace of mind. Again, my request to everyone is that mm, forget about, songs or talking to people. Just enjoy nature. Just look at how God has made this world. It is a beautiful world. Many times I tell everyone that have trust or faith in God. We always think about the verse. We you know why we think about the verse? Because this is what we see on social media, on TV. Every time the news anchor is talking about the worst scenario. I tell everyone, world is not bad. I mean, even men are not as bad as are shown on TV or news media. Even, for example, there is opposite side. People talk about the dowry cases and all that. The wrong cases, blah blah blah. Even there are how many? Very very few things happen. Yes, you need to protect yourself. You need to be watchful, but don't let those things stop you or give you stress, because most of the things are fine. Not every day you have issues or problem. Another I suggest is stay away from negative or bad people. There are people who are very negative. Constantly they find something bad or some issues. In my language, actually, they are like diapers. Always thinking, stay away from them. Throw away from your life those people, because they will create so much of negative and bad vibes that you will not be able to be happy. And many of us have such people. I know that you may have some relatives or close relative also like that, from whom you cannot throw them out from your life, but at least spend minimum time, or at least try to have your brain functioning close when you go to them or talk to them. Reply them very less, very little, even if you are forced to sit with them or you're talking to them, or show very less interest in their discussion. Somewhere try to be little bit detached. Another is love people unconditionally, means that don't try to find negative things. And when you love someone, like someone, don't have too many conditions around it. And maybe if someone improves on this thing, maybe when he says good morning, I love you message, only then I will love them. You love them, you love them. Accept them as almost whole. Small things, guidance, some suggestions here, there, but those should not be dominating your relationship with that person. Be flexible. Many times, we have something in mind and then we want it exactly like that. Change, adapt. Believe me, change and adapt is the only constant. Even if you see politicians, when they are not ruling and the opposition, there's something else. And when they are ruling, they do exactly the same thing, or they change their mind. They speak something different. Believe me, it's not that sometimes they are bad, but when they come to the power, they realize that this is the only way. This is how things are done. This was the better way. So be flexible with time, situation change. Sometimes different people come in your life. Sometimes old things don't work. It's okay. Another thing I tell everyone is that don't attach your happiness with material things. Believe me, material things, any material thing cannot make you happy for more than few days. Whatever, the best car, Ferrari, Rolls Royce, what is that? Phantom, Rolls Royce, Phantom, whatever you get. Actually, sometimes these things have a lot of headaches also because their maintenance is very high. They're not maybe in one or another feature, obviously, looks, status they will give you, but there are many downsides of the expensive material things, and sometimes you buy it from paying EMI. For God's sake, EMI I understand only for two things. One is for your upgrading your skills. So, for example, your education loan, you want to do better in your life. Yes, why not? Another would be one house, I would say, but not the luxurious house, the basic house. But if you are buying luxuries, trust me, you are the one who are going to give yourself stress. More and more and more stress you will get because more EMIs you have to pay. So you are actually living and working very hard a stressful life to show things or material things to your friends, either in real world, offline world, or online world, whatever. I mean, if you see our own Hindu philosophy, for thousands of years we have been talking about it. All of a sudden, the good things have changed from the character to the money. Success has become synonym with more money, better cars, great cars. I don't think it was like that if we go back 50 years back. Success had different meanings, but right now, success has more or less for most of the people, it is only who is earning X amount or who has a better title, who is partner in a bigger firm or who has better title. So this is the only, but believe me, there are many things. My father used to be happier even without much money. I am sure you would have seen your father or your some relatives who had always been happy at some always good time. Maybe they did not even have a fraction of money of what you have, but they were happy. They were not miserable. So please think about your things, guys. Guys, I will take a pause for a minute, and maybe if you have any question on,
Sir,
I
we
see
have
one.
we
Yes,
have a
please.
question.
Yes.
Sir, do appreciations for effort is required? You have already talked about expectations, but expecting appreciations for the valuable efforts that we put in, is it required? Please guide.
Yes, definitely. As I mentioned, see, expect less from others, but say good words, good things, appreciation. We are social animal. If you see human beings have got so much of success, whereas other living beings have got virtually no success. We have gone so far, we have developed so far, we have done so great things, but others could not. Because we work as a group, we work with people. And when you work with people, They need appreciation. They need kind words. They need to hear. Lot of time, actually, money doesn't work. In fact, one more thing, other than appreciation, I tell everyone, even if you have to pay someone money, please pay on time. Even this small thing can make big difference. A lot of people wanted to work with me because I used to appreciate and say some good words to them. There is a person, one of my good friend also, he was my subordinate. I say his name in some classes. His name is Anshul Nima. He is a very successful chartered accountant working with a good company. Once he was leaving organization, I was working with our Convergence India Services. I was director finance, and he was manager finance and accounting. So he was leaving organization because he got around 50% or 60% more. But he was a great player. So I talked to my boss in the US. I wanted that person, and somehow, the best offer I could get from that, agreed with my US boss was 3 lakh rupees less than what the job offer he had. But yes, the difference was initially it was 8 lakh rupees difference a year. I could move up to 5 lakh more, but not match that offer. So I told him, Anshul, this is all I could get for you. What do you think? He accepted it. Wow. So after a few days, I asked him, I said, Anshul, why did you accept my offer? And I had myself seen that offer, not that he was faking it. Obviously, it was me, I who went back to him with counter offer. He said, Naresh, you have been so nice. You have been so kind. We learn from you. You appreciate. Environment is so great that at least not for 3 lakh rupees I leave this job. Again, I'm not repeating. Next time after 2 years, he got again 40% jump, which obviously my boss and was completely against all these kind of jumps. And I know we could not meet it also. My boss was very upset. Oh, no, no, no. See, last time we gave him. I said, see, he did a great job. He was a great person. And again, I'm coming to the point because of appreciation, being kind, being nice to that person. He worked with me for another 2 years for less money than what someone would have offered. Obviously, he would not work for me for 20 lakh rupees gap. You know what I mean? But appreciation work a lot. And I have my own construction project. I also have my own business as well side. And a lot of people work with me. They always want me to do more. Sir, you do more. Sir, you do this. Not that I pay them great, but I pay them on time and I talk to everyone very nicely. Even from labor to contractor, everyone knows me. I talk to them nicely. I say hello to them, namaste, be it guards, be it, anyone. Just imagine the one who is working just on the ground, on the plumbing job or whatever, carpentry job. They all know me. Just appreciation and nice word help a lot. Any other question, guys?
No, sir, not that.
Okay, sir. So again, let us talk about little bit more about stress. Now the question is, what are the symptoms? We all know that if we are constantly in a stressful mind, state, many things our body tells us. For example, we may be irritable. We may be, we have arguments at home. Future uncertain looks like. I may have even nausea, chest congestion, everything. I would say stress increases everything. If God forbids, if you have your genes, sensitive genes, obviously prone to something, or you have family history, not that you will get into all those problems. But if you have high level of stress, anxiety, all those things will increase. You feel sad, you feel tearful, all these things will happen. So try to relax yourself, try to think the reason for it. Again, just saying is easy, but try to find the reason. What is bothering you? Is it that important? Is it the end of the world for you? Because sometimes there are other ways of doing also. Sometimes it is not the end of the world. It may be I have not got promotion and I'm now stressed. Everyone is eating. Just imagine, yeah. Maybe next time when you work hard, you would get it. Maybe you change job. Find solution. My boss always used to tell me, Niresh, when you come to me, please come with some solution. When you talk about some topic, please have your solution ready. Just because something has not happened at a particular time on a particular day or in a particular organization or even in the relationship, is it the end of the world? Can you control it? Can you change it? If you can change it, then do it. Make efforts. Even in Bhagavad Gita, this is what saying that do our karma and leave the rest on God. Many people have constant headache, shoulder, body, cervical, heavy chest, as I mentioned, muscle tight, upset stomach, loose motion, constipation. God knows anything can happen. Again, my first is that you please do some physical activity, try to find, locate, or diagnose yourself. You are the one who knows the best. Believe me, you go to no harm in going to doctor or a good friend, but you are the one who can best judge it, the best say. Keep yourself away or get out of sometime those situations where you cannot control it. So again, little bit of stress is possible. You are doing something which is difficult. It may be physical activity, it may be mental activity. Because if we don't have some of those things, life may get very boring also. So it's okay, if you are trying to, let us say, if you have never done any teaching and you are given some assignment and you believe you can do it. But from the last 10 years, 20 years, and I do it, trust me, I'm telling you from my own example. Recently, I started teaching for CPA, and then usually it is expected you teach all the subjects. It gives me little bit, I have to stretch myself, little bit stress, here and there. But all I do is just study when I have time, and then I leave it. Then I leave it on the class. It's a positive stress. Obviously, I had some time, maybe I wanted to do something more, something different. And again, many rich people are very, very miserable because they don't know how to handle it. I remember there was guy, I believe Mukesh Agarwal, who was Rekha's, I don't know, fifth husband or fourth husband or third husband, I'm sorry. He married Rekha, a movie actress. But his mother, I believe, did not like why this Mukesh, very, very rich guy, Delhi guy, very rich guy. Maybe that time, he was one of the richest. I'm talking like, I think early 90s. Self-made person, having Mercedes even 1990. And one day, because of all this kind of stress, he committed suicide in his car, Mercedes Benz. I was, I believe, BCom student that time. I realized that day, man, the money is not everything. And we all can imagine in 1990 having Mercedes, and I think he was industrialist with Sunflame or some brand. It was very famous that time. So please try to handle things, situation. I mean, what would have worse would have happened that maybe he would have divorced Rekha. At the most, Rekha was already divorced or so many relationships. I'm sure she would have coped up with the situation, and she did it. But this poor guy, Mukesh Agarwal, he could not handle it. Sometimes I honestly go to hospital and I don't have to go to hospital, but sometimes I go for someone. At least I see around so many people are suffering. Then I think, okay, I have a better life. Obviously, I want to learn. Lifestyle diseases are also there if I can avoid it. But at least I feel, thank God, I have a better life. Sometimes it is about half glass full. What I have, I'm more happy with that rather than that I don't have full glass. Again, bigger car, bigger house. Believe me, I have seen people taking EMI even for upgrading their furniture. For God's sake, it will give you stress. Don't show off to other people. No one is going to come and help you when you would be in the trouble or when you would lose a job and or when your business would not be doing that well. If you have money, if you can easily buy something which you can buy 5 times without any worry. Personal belongings, I say that car or iPhone or whatever, expensive phones you have, if you have at least 5 times of cash of buying that same thing easily, only then buy. You don't need to upgrade every time. Even cars are very, very expensive. It is not just the EMI, maintenance, insurance, and depreciation obviously is very high. Sometimes people buy big and big cars in the cities. I know that people are from all cities, but my wife and I were walking. We walk a lot, and there was a Fortuner guy. I live in Gurgaon. It's a decent neighborhood. Streets are not that bad and not very congested, but that Fortuner that pulling out of his parking and turning it from one direction to another was such a gigantic task. And I told my wife, this guy is driving Fortuner only for his ego and not for his happiness. I can bet you, maybe if he would be driving a smaller car, he would be happy, maybe less stress on the road, maybe less challenges, less maintenance, less repair, but because of ego, he's doing it. So again, like you have sometimes a lot of expenses. Procrastination is also a very, very important thing. Procrastination means like you postpone. So, for example, many times because I am not comfortable doing something, I postpone it to tomorrow, day after tomorrow. But things usually don't end. Things continues to stand the way these things are. In fact, sometimes things are become magnified. So my suggestion is, if you can finish something, please do it. Children, we worry too much about children. You're like, oh, if they go by bike or if they come by bike, if they're playing, don't have control on them all the time. Don't do helicopter parenting. It also gives you stress. It gives children stress. Helicopter parenting is when you want to monitor everything. Where is he? Where in the park? What are you doing? Our parents did not have anything like this. Obviously, I did not even have mobile phone when I passed my CA. Even when I was in the US, I was in the US from 1998 to 2004. I believe I got my first mobile phone in 2000 year. Such a big country, new country, didn't have mobile phone. And people, let them be independent, yeah. Let them, I'm not saying you don't have mobile phone for them, but don't keep monitoring on all the time, what children are doing, what they are doing, how they are doing. It makes life very, very difficult for them and you also. You are also in stress, they are also in stress. Sometimes relationship also goes bad. Just think about, let them be independent. Let them learn new things their way. Let them have Obviously, you need to make sure that the friends they have, at least they don't look shady, or at least they are nice, but not always try to control them. Self approval is first people approval. First have your own approval on things. People's approval, people will always say something. People many times will disagree with you. You cannot make the world happy. So don't worry too much about a lot of people. TV news, I tell everyone, full of negativity, full of. I don't even watch. TV debates are even worse. They are there just to pull everyone down. The person who are, there are 4 or 5 people, they are not listening. They are not listening to understand. I always tell everyone, listen to understand. They are just there, listen to respond and how they can make the other person feel bad. Such a painful situation. And again, negative stories, we get attracted. Obviously, they would sell us what they, from where they will get most revenue. So leave it. You cannot change people's mind. Sometimes we start arguing with people on social media, expecting that it will change their mind, but you will see that the person will reply even more negative, more difficult manner. Many times, I log off from Facebook, WhatsApp. WhatsApp, obviously, you cannot log off, but at least have everything on mute. Or at least when you are sleeping or for some time, have your data off. No one is going to die without you for some time. Emergency, you are not a firefighter, you are not a police services, or you are not in emergency center of hospital. I have seen students in a class, all of a sudden they will stand. I tell them, that please keep your phone in bag. Everyone, and you will also survive. One day student started talking and he said, I want to go. I said, "Well, what has happened?" Yes, sir, so my friend is asking me direction. He wants to, I need to help him. I said, what are you talking? I said, do you think he will not survive if you don't give him direction sitting in the MCS classroom? Why do you imagine so? I said, I was in the US, such big, long highways. And as I mentioned, I did not even have phone for the 2 years. There was no GPS. Even till my last visit, 2013 in the US, 15, I believe, not much GPS was being used. People had started using GPS, but at the most, people used to take printout of the directions, keep it in the car, some basic understanding. I said, why do you worry so much about others? Take it easy, yaar. And there is sometimes we are very serious about jobs or talks. There's no harm in, having some jokes, some lighter conversation, some remembering old things. It's okay. Spend some time with your children, with your parents, obviously with your spouse, because you never know. Children would grow, they would go to some another city, or maybe for studies, or maybe for jobs. Parents would go most likely sooner than you, then you will miss them. Your spouse also needs time, because sometimes they are emotionally charged. If they are working, maybe male, female, whosoever is, wife or husband working there, talk to them. No harm in discussion, spending time with them, understanding them. And I tell that the time you spend with your children is investment. Believe me, your relationship, your guidance, your maturity level, and they see what you do. A lot of time this we say that children learn through what we do, not what we say. So when you spend time with them, obviously they see what you do, how you do, even if your business skills, your personality, rather than learning from someone else, why not from you? And parents, obviously, they need your support after a while. My parents are almost 80 now. They need my support. I cannot say that, they don't need me. They need me. Obviously, it is good part of our society that we take care of our parents, most of us. Please don't think that people don't take care of parents. I would say 99% of people take care of parents. Don't worry too much about 1% people who are not taking care of parents. I came back from the US only because my mother was sick and she was not doing well. And I proudly say that it was part of our culture that I could do it. And it pays. In the long run, your children will also learn from what you did to your parents. Law of attraction, you give peace, you get peace. You abuse someone, he will abuse you. You be not be nice to someone, the other person will not be nice to you. Socialize with friends, spend some time, please. Phone call online does help little bit, but it is little bit only. Please go talk to them, meet them. Sometime actually you have to compromise on situation. Not every time the situation is that you have to take it and you have to expect the best results. Compromise. Even when you do job, we used to call Amir Khan perfectionist, and media used to talk very good things about it. But believe me, even Amir Khan had many unsuccessful movies stints, despite talking about his perfectionism. And recently, I have seen that no one calls him perfectionist. Maybe he himself wants to get rid of that. They have these media houses because perfectionism is not appreciated. You have to compromise sometimes. Even the quality of work, I'm not saying you take bad work, accept bad work, but sometime improvement is required. You focus on it, you work on it, you have discussion on it. But the best or the 100% or what you have flawless would practically not happen. So accept it and whatever best you can do it.
So we have a question with us.
Yes, please.
How can one stay focused for a single goal to achieve success and at the same time feel happy and less stressed and avoid distractions even in today's highly digital multitasking environment?
See, focus is what we are missing a lot these days. I believe there is no dearth of knowledge or information, but focus is what we are missing, especially in reel or shorts world. We see like, I know, 4 seconds, 10 seconds shorts. So definitely, I would, frankly speaking, already mentioned that please switch off your mobile phone, keep it away. For example, right now I have my mobile completely in mute mode. I don't want any disturbance. Obviously, you have time when you believe you don't need it. You have to focus on it. You have to think about it. So, mobile is the first thing. And most difficult thing these days is if I can tell someone that for 1 hour they sit without doing anything. That is the most difficult thing, idle thing. Because you need mobile, you need some entertainment to keep your brain, juggling with one thing or another thing. So again, multitasking, as I mentioned, please try to do only one thing at a time. Keep other things away. Have some room for yourself. It may be even in your house, at least spend 30 minutes to 1 hour without anyone being around you. Meditation, walking, yoga, all these things also help. Very few common things. For example, right now when I'm talking to you, my wall in front of me is blank. There are no slogans, nothing. I don't never have my desk when I'm facing the window, because I know something or another I will see from window. It will distract me. So again, digital switch off, not switch off, basically mobile data switch off. Have your mobile at least few feet away from you so that you can just grab it with your hand. You know what I mean? So all these things would help you. You just try to think that with multitasking, your ability to work always reduces, your output is always less. Please remember, and this is scientifically proven. I am not saying anything from my pocket. Again, few things are urgent, few things are important, few things are routine. Urgent things should be as little as possible during your day routine. It should be more like routine, the tasks which you already know planned. Planned things should be more. Obviously, urgent things would be. I'm not saying that urgent things would not be there. But if you have too many urgent things, it means maybe you are procrastinating it. You had not done it for a long time. You had not given it enough importance, and now all of a sudden it has become urgent, and all of a sudden you have to do firefighting. So avoid, plan your day. Hopefully, with all these things, you can do better. Again, yoga, meditation, physical activities also help you. Any other question, guys? Okay, then let us. To me, frankly speaking, the ultimate goal of life is being at peace. And peace doesn't mean that you have nothing turbulent, nothing going up, down. It will be there. But to very large extent, you control things, you manage it, you be happy. So how much peace you have in your mind, that is more important. Another thing I talk about people is that, eating habit is also very, very important thing, because healthy body can help you with less stress. I mean, if I have backache, whatever lectures I give you, or someone has it won't help. You need good back. I've started with this also, that a healthy person may have 100 desires or 1,000 desires, but unhealthy person only has one, which is that he needs to be healthy. So, eat good food. Lot of junk is available. I know that more people are now dying because of more food or bad food than because of no food. At least in the urban areas, I don't know anyone. Regulate timings. For example, your body also needs rest. You may find it funny, but almost 99% of the time, I do my dinner before 7. And do means it is finished before 7, 99% of the time. And my body is at peace. While sleeping, then I go for some walk. If I have some work, I can do it later on also. Even I worked for a BPO company, Convergys. I used to work from 11 or 12 in the morning to 8 or 9. But believe me, I used to take my lunch and dinner both. I would microwave it and I would eat it. It's okay if you don't do dinner with your family. Even if you have to skip, believe me, rather than eating late, skipping is better. I know some people talk about, oh, I'm hungry, I go late every day. Trust me, if you start skipping one meal, you would be healthy person, healthier than before. We all are eating more. Believe me, It's okay. All you need to do is, yes, if you want it, you take your lunch also, you take dinner also. Keep it in some fridge. Most of the offices have fridge, small fridge. And believe me, food doesn't get bad. I mean, scientifically, it is known, proven. I know a lot of people talk about every time you need to have fresh meal, blah, blah. But if you are going to have fresh meal at 10 o'clock in the night, believe me, it is going to hurt you more than something which was cooked in the morning and you ate it at 6 or 7. It is far better than, because your body is not getting any rest. And when you are sleeping, your body needs rest. You, for good sleep, your gut, your inside body also, except breathing, you should, or heart and a few basic functions, at least your gut doesn't need to do a lot of hard work. Ego, a lot of times, we have ego. I personally believe Indians have very high ego. When we have when we get increment or when we get promotions, our egos, our thought process sometimes change. We start saying that we should not talk to, let us say, people who are of below economic strata or social strata. We should not smile with them. We should not sit. It's okay. Trust me. I have seen in Western world, it all happens. I am sorry to say, most of the Western worlds are ahead of us in those monetary terms or material terms for which we are trying to get so serious. They also get work done. Their productivity is obviously, if if I'm just talking about per capita GDP, I'm not talking about countries fifth largest economy, because we have so much of population, how much each individual is actually, if in that terms, we are still way behind. But in Western countries, I've seen bosses are usually relaxed. People at top level are usually calm. They talk to their subordinates nicely, sweetly, at ease. Usually that gap between the boss and subordinate is not that much. At least it makes your office time good. Just hold on, sorry, just for a second, I need a break. Sorry, someone had come actually. He did not realize that I was in a class. Okay, someone has another question, very big question. Anyway, can you please read it?
Yes, sir. So stress management is very critical for CAs working against stiff timelines targets. Successful employers or organizations are credited with providing ambient environment for employees to perform as per the expected norms on a continuous basis without being under stress. This enables better employee retention also. In the light of the above, how is it that Big Four have negative reputation of subjecting employees to heavy workload, but ironically, many aspire to work in these firms? How do you explain this situation, sir? Are the Big Fours not governed by ethical practices in work and legal regulations on providing appropriate work environments to employees?
Let me try to answer few out of it. I mean, this has multiple questions. I'm not going to read each and every line, but let me try to explain. See, one is that yes, Big Fours nowadays have got bad reputation, and because of this recent incidents. Frankly, as I mentioned, my own experience in the US with KPMG, I worked with EY in Dubai. Luckily, it was not that bad environment, not as hard as difficult as we see today, though. Many people used to talk about it, but I did not face that hard or bad environment. In India, yes, I know I worked for Convergys, EY, or Alter, and again, Big Four more or less. I have worked as consultant around with many Big Four consultants. They work in very tight environment. Most of them are not happy, but still people want to work for them. See, I personally believe that again, because the definition of success has now simply moved to one thing, which is more money, right? That is why we are running after such environment, despite knowing that this is not good for us. And I am saying that not always everyone in this situation cannot handle it. Few people can handle it. Fine. If you believe you can handle it, you are doing it, it's okay. But personally, I frankly told you, KPMG, I could not handle it. I quit, I moved back. Don't follow the follower. This thing I had already mentioned. If you follow the follower, it means that someone else goals, someone else thoughts, or maybe he does not have his own genuine real thoughts. He is also following someone. For God's sake, please have your goals. If it gives you a lot of headache, if it gives you unhappiness for a long time, if you are unhappy in a job for 2 months, believe me, nothing deserves your happiness or your stress level. Leave it, for God's sake. I know many people, I know recently one case or another two case, but I have every reason to believe if the genuine reason cause is taken, there would be many hundreds of chartered accountants who would have died because of stress. So have the courage to say no, to accept that it is not good. And if you cannot handle it, leave it. In fact, I tell every student, if you are joining Big Four, please at least mentally be ready that you will have to go through the grind. You will have to work very hard. Maybe you will not be able to cope up. If first that you are that strong, then maybe you can join. But if mentally you are not ready, don't join at all. But because mentally you were ready, actually when you entered, you still could not handle it. That is also practically possible. You know what I mean? You have seen it, you know it from outside. You say that, oh, no, I can do it. Yes, it's okay. I will do it. You are very excited, but after few months or year, you believe, no, it is not your cup of tea. Maybe your judgment was not right, or maybe you were not right, which is fine. Then leave it. Personally, again, I don't want to talk about one firm, but one of the big firm with which I have worked, as part of Convergys, every employee except partner, everyone came to me, Naresh, can you please find a good job for me? When I was director of finance or CFO, everyone from the lowest executive level, CA, not articles. Articles, obviously, they just want to finish articleship and want to go out. And most of them were talking about cut also, or at the same pay. No one ever talked to me, Naresh, get me 20% jump, 30% jump. Everyone said, Naresh, I'm ready to take 20% cut or same job, same as well. They were so much stressed. Government, I know, frankly speaking, I am very clearly, I have been saying it on social media. Also, people who follow me or who want to connect on LinkedIn, that yes, government has its role. I believe government needs to do more. Same I expect from ICAs also. They need to do more. They need to be more vocal about it. But individual roles, as I mentioned, their responsibility is not as great as your own responsibility. Let us say you want to be successful. Government, yes, provides you infrastructure. Government does things which again does help. That is why a lot of Indians go to America, because things are done in a better fashion. That environment is there for science, technology, or for the businesses. No doubt about it. Let us accept it. But our own, if we are very good, if we take care of our things, we can do better. And we can do better outside as well, with not so much crazy environment. I believe in that kind of crazy environment, there is nothing, no new thing you can do. You know what I mean? Unless you do new things, you won't be that successful. And people who do new things have time for themselves. If you don't have time for new things, or you're just doing routine things, yes, you may get 20-30% more salary in bigger firms or bigger four you have written. But believe, I don't think that you would be that much successful otherwise also. But again, some people have only one goal, more money for them is success. To me, it is not. So take things in your hand also. Again, all of us hope government to do better, bring some norms, make some environment so that people don't, have to get into that situation. But again, both responsibilities are there, your own institutes and governments. I hope I was able to answer. Okay, so let me go back to again talk to ego to people nicely. You don't need to you you know what I mean. Even believe me, when I meet guards, I talk to them. I call them bhai sahab. I don't call them bhaiya. Many laborers come to me. I say bhai sahab. They feel surprised. Say bhai sahab, bhai sahab. Usually in North India, it is like more respectful than bhaiya. Bhaiya is usually you call people who is on the bottom of the economic strata. Bhaiya is not considered a great term when you call someone who is a laborer. I talk to them like beta, bache. Some nice vibes should be there. You will get better, others will get better. Get organized, plan your day. Again, urgent things should be very few. Save some money. Money is very, very important. I know whatever I may say, that minimum amount of money is important, believe me. And it doesn't mean always on your bank or saving or FD. It could be in your, highly liquid form, mutual funds. But you should have something in your FDs and savings as well. All of a sudden, you may need something. Yes, you have credit card these days. You have insurance, you have medical insurance, life insurance. If you don't have, at least have something, because you are saving yourself from the risk. Some goals, some new things, reading books, avoid emails, social media, at least I would say 30 minutes, 1 hour before you sleep. Deep breathing, alom vilom, all these yoga exercises. Deep breathing is considered very good to be immediately stress free. If you are, let us say, in a situation where you are not feeling good, again, you can Google, you can learn some deep breathing, alom vilom, Kapal Bharti, many such practices. From my own experience also, and I have scientifically now it is approved that they give you immediate relief if you are in trouble, if you are not happy, if you are feeling very bad. Spirituality, all these things, meditation, think positive, be around good people, chaos, people are just avoid them. And no person or place, please, I would just end with this thing that no person or place has power to upset me. We get upset only because we get emotional when someone says something. I many times actually think that I mean, that this person is an idiot. Okay, I am not going to be upset. Again, not only eating on time, but eat good quality food, sugar, processed food, chocolates, ice cream. You go to marriage, you want to eat almost everything. I usually am done with snacks. I don't eat a lot. Yes, it is more than what I usually eat when I'm at home on dinner. Have dinner as light as possible. I know that dinner parties and all that is very common, but don't be everywhere. So with this, honestly, I would end. There are many, many more things I can talk about it, but I would leave it now open for question and answer. And if anyone wants to share their own thoughts, please feel free. Again, you have to manage yourself. Please remember that you have to manage yourself. Government, institutes, or any other authorities or your parents can only do little bit for you. You are the one who has to do it for yourself, manage yourself, make yourself a better person, to be stress free, to be happy, to be more successful, to be healthy. All these things, it is all in your hand. Find time for yourself. I personally believe that the kind of jobs we are seeing nowadays, the rat race of money we will have unhealthy societies. People will pay a lot of money for last 20 years of their lives. There people are going to spend unhealthy and spend a lot of money on doctors. I mean, we all know that medical practices, how they cheat you, how they make you fool, how you suffer actually more sometime. So please take control of your life, have some time for yourself. And I hope you all live a better life. I'm not saying completely stress free, but better life and a happy life. Thank you guys. Open for the question.
So we don't have any other questions yet. But sir, can you just guide us of the daily routine that we should follow to avoid stress and as well as manage ourselves?
Yes, routine. You have already mentioned this word routine. So I would say that our life should be around our as much as possible. Again, few things would always be urgent, important, which will come up. But usually we should have a routine. Everything should not be a surprise or firefighting. So for example, I wake up at 5, 5:30, 6, whatever. I personally believe, and it should be usually at what time you wake up, your body also has a rhythm, circadian rhythm. It should be around the same time. Not that on weekends you are sleeping more. At least your body does better if you follow a routine. So follow a routine. I would say before you sleep, at least you have some important tasks. Obviously, we all are professionals. Whatever task we have to do it, have it on your diary or Outlook. I usually have it on my Outlook calendar. I follow it, but before that, I wake up early. I have some personal things to do. I do exercise. I do yoga. I, frankly speaking, have a rental building on rent, which I manage. I go, I check. I mean, it's about 300 meters. 400 meters. I have a cycle. I go, I check water, and everything around it is fine because I have a decent amount of, tenants. So I make sure at least basic things are there, even if I know a lot of things are automated. But I like to go. You know what I mean? I go to fifth. It is like stilt plus parking, even to the tank 5 level. I go walking. I just enjoy it. I feel healthy. I know that it is part of my cardio. I don't, and I know things are in my control. Before things go wrong. I do exercise. I do breakfast on time. Most of it, but obviously there are things, when I have to run, I have to rush, I have to change my focus on things. So routine is very, very important thing to have a better life. Guys, any other question?
So I think we are done with the questions.
Okay, great. So should we conclude?
Yeah, sure, sir.
So
Thank you so much for the lovely power-packed session that you gave us. And thank you for enlightening us so well. Now I would request C.A. Shantanu Singh Chauhan, Secretary, Jabalpur Branch, to give his vote of thanks. So we have a question. Just a second, sir. We just got a question. Hello.
Yeah, I see this question. Are there many jobs for opportunities for Indian chartered accountants in the US? No. Very simple. I don't want to be diplomatic. US visa is very difficult. Green card is even more difficult. Find some better country. What to do with social media pressure? That we need to maintain that minimum standard of living. If we leave office stress, we fail. Social pressure. Yes, social media or social pressure is always there. No doubt about it. That is why I tell everyone, that one, please remember that a lot of people are faking it. You see the best version of it and only the version what they are showing you. So it may not be even true. I have a friend, believe me, he is multi-millionaire in the US. I hope he's not watching. He's not a chartered accountant. And he has 30 cars, all these Lamborghini and like the real expensive cars, I don't know. Even the price, I don't even ask. But he's always miserable. I don't know why he's so unhappy, always in trouble. He just, believe me, people who have most money, not necessarily they are the happiest person. They are not sometimes they are not managing their life. Forget it, yaar, have your own satisfaction point and enjoy it. Our parents did it. They did not cry for money that much as we are crying, though most of us are making 10 times more than our parents. Okay, what is the next question? Social sum.
So there's question.
Yes, please.
We are social people, and to live in society, we need to maintain status.
This one is
Can't
done. The
go
last
and
one. This
stay
one is
in
done. This one is somewhere we are social people and we need to live in the society. We need to maintain. So yes, all I agree. But do you have that much of money? Do you have deep pocket? Just because you want to show it to someone, please, for God's sake, don't get into stress. No one will help you with your heart attack. No one will help you with your high diabetes, with blood pressure. Only you or your family will suffer. It is not a question, just a thought. Travel makes mind so much stress-free. Yes, I agree, especially in the nature. If you go to Himalayas, if you go in farms, yes, I completely agree. Sir, I am suffering from slow heart rate from birth. It is impossible to maintain routine, so unable to do daily activities as easy as other persons are doing. Sir, I agree with you. I know some people have heart conditions. Obviously, doctor would have advised you how to manage things. So, but believe me, yoga, deep breathing exercises can make everything better. I tell everyone, whatever condition you may have, you can make it better. With yoga, deep breathing, healthy eating, at least things won't go bad. Because I know people at the age of 40, 45, 50 are dying because of heart disease. Chandni, you are lucky you are woman. Women are less prone to heart diseases. So, but men, if you see, at around my age or around even younger than that, 30, 35, 40, at least 50, 55, women have menopause, then things start going bad on the heart front also. But please do some healthy things. Hopefully you will better. And please remember that this is the limitation you have and accept it. As I mentioned, in Stoic philosophy and our Hindu philosophy, if you cannot control something, sometime accept it. We cannot be like everyone, unfortunately. Even I have few issues which I have accepted it and I move on it. At least I feel better. Any other question? No, madam, we can conclude it.
conclude and give vote of thanks. I would request Shantanu to give his vote of thanks.
Thank you, Chandni ma'am. Sir, it's been such an honor to be part of this wonderful webcast on stress management for chartered accountants, and which was deliberated by you today. This was organized by Professional Skills Enrichment Committee of ICI, and on behalf of Jabalpur branch and Professional Skills Committee of ICI, we would like to extend our heartfelt gratitude to you, our speaker for today, CA Naresh Lakhani sir, for your enlightening session. A sincere thanks to all the event enablers from Jabalpur branch as well, who enabled this webcast throughout. A wide round of applause and thanks to all those who have attended this webinar, and especially to the Professional Skills Enrichment Committee and especially today's speaker and all the stakeholders who have made this webcast a memorable one. Finally, we would like to thank all of you present here and making this webcast a successful one. Thank you so much, sir, and hopefully we will be hearing from you in future as well.
Thank you, Shantanu
Thank you,
ji.
sir.
Thank you, Hemant ji. Thank you, Chandni ji. Technical support, Manoj ji,
Thank
and
you so
all the
much, sir.
audience, and also the Institute of Chartered Accountants, which has been organizing such a great session. So thank you all for your time. And again, I hope to see you guys again.
Thank
And
you
we
so
can
much, sir.
connect on
Thank you.
LinkedIn or any other.
Thank
And I can connect. I can
Thank
be
you so
connected
much,
on
sir.
LinkedIn or any other social media platform.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.